Hey there, welcome back to my channel. We already know that if we are using Android Studio Jellyfish or later version, we will find a Gemini in Android Studio, previously known as Studio Bot, which is generative AI, where we can ask various questions directly through our ID. It's very smart and can use our code base to give better answer and smart autocomplete suggestion, which is super useful. If you are serious about Android development, you know that protecting our code also crucial. Today, we are diving into an important topic, how to safeguard our code from Gemini in Android Studio. Stick around to learn something essential tips and tricks. Let's discuss benefit of Gemini in Android Studio. Gemini is great for increasing productivity. Its benefits are immense. It can help you write code faster. We can directly chat with Gemini from Android Studio so that we don't need to change the context from Android Studio to browser. If we give the code base permission, it can help us with AI code completions. Gemini can warn early errors so that we can catch errors early. If we select bunch of code and send to the Gemini, then Gemini can give us the optimized suggestion so that we can do the optimized code using Gemini. When we face any kind of exceptions, we can get better analysis from Gemini with suggestions and the relevant links. We can ask for new coding techniques and it has the smart actions. We can do a lot of things using Gemini. It is powerful, but with great power comes great responsibility. So, what's the risk? Unintentional sharing of sensitive code is the risk. When Gemini suggests a code, it may use our existing code base if we give that permission. If these suggestions are not properly managed, sensitive information might be exposed. Let's discuss risk of sharing sensitive code to Gemini. Firstly, data leaks and breaches. Gemini always wants that the chat history reviewed by a human for their better improvement. So, transmitting sensitive codes over networks, including to Gemini, the risk is interceptions or unauthorized access. If the code is intercepted, it could be exploited by the malicious actors, leading to the financial loss, reputational damage, or legal issues. And intellectual properties can be theft. Sharing sensitive code with Gemini could expose it to unauthorized copying or distribution. This could lead to competitors gaining an unfair advantage or the code being used in OS not intended by the original developer. Compromise the security. If your proprietary code contains vulnerabilities, sharing it with Gemini could expose the weakness to the attackers. This could compromise the security of your Android applications and potentially harms the user. Violations of the agreement. Sharing sensitive code may violate non-disclosure agreement, licensing terms, or other contractual obligations. This could lead to legal disputes and the financial penalties. Lastly, but not less, loss of control. Once proprietary code or sensitive code is shared with Gemini, you may lose control over how it be used or modified. This could lead to unintended consequences or the code being used in OS that are harmful to your business or reputation. So we understand the potential risk of sharing sensitive code with Gemini or other generative AI. However, we will not stop to use them. We will continue to use so that we need to ensure that they are used properly. Google already announced their privacy and policies regarding Gemini. We need to read these privacy and policies carefully. Also, we can do setup Gemini in Android Studio as per our need. So let's deep dive how we can set up Gemini in Android Studio correctly. Let's set up Gemini in Android Studio. For that, we need minimum Android Studio version, which is Jellyfish. Here we are using Android Studio Koala. To find the Gemini, we need to go in the tool windows and select Gemini. So Gemini chat box will be open. For the first time, we need to log in. We have to give the specific submit data to Google for AI-based developer assistance permission. Yeah, that's it. That's why actually we can start using Gemini. Here is the chat box where actually we can chat with Gemini to get the optimized solutions, suggestions, and we can use the code. But still now, the privacy setting is not set up yet. So for setting, we need to go settings, and under the tools we can see the Gemini. So here we can see the context awareness. We can see three specific options. One is use context from your project to improve responses. If we select this one, this is the most dangerous one. So basically the Gemini will get full access of the code, and it can give suggestions based on our context. And if we do not use context from any project, then Gemini has no single line of code access. So basically here Gemini will give the suggestions with prompt and previous conversation. Another option, we can ask to decide per project. So if we use that, to use any kind of code by Gemini, it will ask a prompt, so that actually if we feel like this is safe enough, then actually we can use it. So let's use it, ask to decide per project. Let's try in a code block, where here I want a good solution from specific block. I need the improvement, so Gemini will suggest improvement. So here is the prompt actually I am saying, which is confirm the sending code. So if we give yes, then obviously the code will send to the Gemini. And that's why actually we can think our privacy, is that code safe enough to send to Gemini. This is how actually we can set the context awareness in Gemini. So based on our personal situation, we can select the correct one. So let's check the official document. Google also says about their privacy, so that actually user don't need to breach their any kind of sensitive code. So here the data collections and use, how actually data submitted and received are there, and the developer choice. Here actually we saw like how we can use the context awareness. Also, if we wanted to use any kind of auto suggestion using context, we can give that permission. So when we are working as a team, it's really difficult to maintain like everyone is selecting correct settings or not. For that, we can use the AI exclude file. It's more like same as git ignore, so that actually we can ignore that kind of sensitive classes or files which actually don't need to give permission to the Gemini. So here actually we can add the AI exclude file. We can add the various file names. Also we can give the directory path. It takes keys, .kt files and others. So that's how actually we can protect our code as a team. We saw how we can protect our code from Gemini in Android Studio. We observed Gemini settings regarding context awareness. Also, we can use AI exclude to protect specific file from AI. Above all, we can follow some general best practices. Here are some general best practices to keep our code secure. We can regularly review the Gemini settings and the permission. We can use version control system like Git to track changes and control access. We have to educate our team about the importance of code privacy and secure coding practices. By taking this step, we can make the most use of Gemini without compromising code security. Thanks for watching this video. If you find this video is helpful, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more tips on Android development.